Hi, Trevor here from the Hobby Organist channel. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure if we say that enough. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us today on Monday morning. We're here in our new little home, our studio that we've been putting together with some fantastic instruments at the moment. I've got the new Estey here. I've got a grand marquee, and tucked away behind me, you can see, if you're keen of sight, we have a brand new Ringway RS760 as well that we're doing some videos on later on this week. As I said in the comments on the last video on Friday, very sorry about the sound quality. It was an experiment to use a headset microphone, but I'm discovered that I'm quite a heavy breather, and the problem was if we took the microphone away from my nose so you didn't hear the breathing, you then got lots of popping and stuff. It just didn't work at all. And what we were trying to do was balance between getting the sound from the organ and not hearing that on the microphone, but it didn't really work at all. So we won't be using that again. So today we thought it'd be fun to do a little introductory and talk around the Freedom 3, the brand new Estey model, which we haven't really looked at so far in all these videos. And it's got such a great sound, some nice features, so it'll be fun to have a play on that. Before we do that, thank you everybody that's already signed up on Patreon to join us on Monday. As I want to keep repeating to people so they're aware of what's going to happen, is that as of Monday next week, so a week today, all the videos that you've been watching on YouTube will no longer be there. They'll only be accessible via Patreon. So if you're able to join us over on that platform, that'd be great, because you can then watch all the videos we've done already. You can join us on Monday with your free copy of the Even When sheet music for our first little tuition of how to play that song. And of course, lots of things that we're going to do. We're not going to do anything radically different, because I think we all enjoy playing and understanding our organs. So there'll be lessons every week on working the instruments. There'll be lots of talking about techniques and stuff and so forth. We're going to try and do more on the Versi and the Ringway organs, because we're building up owners of those instruments as well. And of course, we're going to have a lot of fun. One of the things I want to do is play some vintage organs. We take in part exchange Allens, some of the older organs that I remember from my youth growing up and playing, and so I thought it'd be fun to do a few videos playing on some of those and recreating sounds of the past and things. So hopefully today the sound will be better. And we're experimenting with a different microphone which isn't attached to me, so you shouldn't hear me breathing. There shouldn't be any pops, but we still have a direct feed from the organ, so hopefully we shall have a good sound. So let's have a bit of a play and explore some of the sounds on this amazing little Freedom 3 from Estey. So here we are with the new Estey Freedom 3. I have to think very carefully when I say that. It's like a tongue twister for me. I always struggle with my F's and my F's, so I have to think very carefully. It's a Freedom 3. And this is the product of this amazing project that we have going with our fellow dealers in America, with the genius of Bill Curry as well, and our friends with Ringway Organ Company, to produce an organ which is in the spirit of the Lowry instruments, in terms of being very easy to use, having as good a sound as possible, being in a nice cabinet, and they really have done a fantastic job with this instrument. So we thought it'd be nice just to do a little video just to talk through some of the features and the sounds on here, because it's quite a revelation to us. When this model when I went to see it in China, I was blown away firstly by how well it sounded, but secondly by actually how much content they have put into this instrument and how good the specification is. So let's just have a bit of fun and play through some of the styles and explore what they're going to do. I don't know them all off by heart, so this will be interesting for me to go through them and see what sounds come up and so forth. So we're playing it like we would do a Lowry organ. We even have a home button which takes us back to square one. But when we do turn the organ on, when we choose a style, it has an auto setup feature, so it's choosing the sound that they feel is most appropriate to go with the style that we've chosen. And we choose the styles very easily. We press standards here, or I can scroll up and down. We played swing time the first time to open there, but we can come down to gypsy jazz. Let's see what gypsy jazz sounds like. Introduction, and away we go. Lovely style that is very easy to play with, very easy to use. That's one of the key things about the Estey project, is we're looking at instruments that people who are beginners can play, not be overwhelmed by technology and styles, but still have a good quality of sound. And that's a great style, that gypsy jazz. All kinds of things you can play with that. I remember when I was learning to play, I was learning from the Kenneth Baker series, The Complete Organ Player, as you've probably heard me mention before. And I got all the way through to the book 5, and that's kind of where I kind of petered out with my concentration. But I remember book 5 because it's the one that introduces all the jazz standards, things like Ain't Misbehaving and Honeysuckle Rose. I think there was Lullaby, Birdland, and Ophelia. Just Satin Doll. That kind of style sits all those. It's no end of kind of music you can play with that. Alright, let's move on, otherwise we'll be playing that one all day. Let's have a look country. Country's always very, very popular on all the Lowry organs, and Bill does a fantastic job with the country. So we've got two on the button to begin with. We've got Roadhouse and acoustic guitar. Let's see what Roadhouse is like. 1, 2. Get that right. Doesn't have any foot pedals, so we're always using automatic bass, but it has got an expression pedal, as you may notice, because I'm able to turn the volume down here when I'm talking, and it has foot switches, so we can do the glide and the fill-in as well while we're playing quite happily. And that's of course nice with the country style, and I don't know if you saw that on the video, but it does the same counting when you use the introduction on the screen. Piano there. nice little twiddly bits that can pop in and out of the style. Keep your interest in there. I think that it sounds more like a live musician's playing. Good fun. So when we're playing with these styles, we're using the auto setup feature, which makes the organ select the sound for us, but we can quite happily choose sounds ourselves. We have an orchestral section here, and we can mix two orchestral sounds together. So when we press the pianos button, we get a piano sound. It's a lovely piano actually. That piano's button, it actually brings up on the screen and tells us that we're on the grand piano, but I can use the scroll keys and change it to electric piano. So each one of these buttons actually has two sounds behind it to start off with. We have our strings, and we just use the scroll key. Those strings have got a bit more of an attack to them, so. But we can change those strings and have a softer string. A bit of sustain on them, which of course you can use to mix sounds together. So I could take my acoustic piano, put a bit of strings. And the two voices actually have their own volume control, so I can make the piano a bit louder and take the strings down a little bit. Nice vocals. And rather like the Lowrys, we have a more button, and so behind the more button there are all the additional sounds that they didn't have space to put on the buttons here. So a nice acoustic and nylon guitars. And because this is designed for the hobby organist, of course the keyboard isn't touch sensitive, but you do have the option, if you go into the features list, of making the keyboard touch sensitive. So if you're a more experienced player, or you're used to playing with a touch keyboard, you can put that feature on. To give more expression into the voices. We'll leave it off for the time being because we're going to play it more in a hobby organist kind of style. Harmonica. That's a great voice, isn't it? We've always got to play the glide. Excellent. Saxophone. So alongside the orchestral section, we have an organ section as well, so we can have lively organ sounds, add a bit of sustain to them. One of the most popular sounds, obviously, on the Lowry organs is the organ sound. And we've got the sweet sound there, and the rich organ sound, and the jazz. And again, each one's got two variations. There's a full organ and there's a pipe organ, so there's a big noisy one, or a softer one. Probably best take the tremolo off that. It's better, isn't it? Let's give try something nice and quiet. Easy 8-beat, let's see how that sounds. What doesn't come across actually on this video is as soon as the rhythm kicks in, the bass, the speaker system they call on this organ has this lovely solid bass to it, so particularly the drums and the bass sound has a lovely deepness to it, which kind of is a great foundation. So excited to hear what styles Bill had come up with to put on the new instrument, and it was the same when I first sat down and played the Esteys. Hearing the new styles they come up with, and they're just as brilliant. It always amazes me where he finds all this inspiration, because they're just all fantastic styles. That's pianist style. Still have the option here of adding a sound to the learn manual. So at the moment all that we're hearing is the style there, but if you want to add a sound to the left hand, you have a lower organ sound that you can bring, an ensemble sound, and a piano or guitar sound that you can have on the learn manual, so we can bring that up and play those as well. So you can have an organ down there, or strings, or an organ with strings, and of course the piano. Then you change it just with the scroll key. So you can have a sound in the left hand as well as the auto accompaniment. Let's have something a bit more lively. Let's see what the march is like. Yeah. Gospel, yeah, what's the joyful gospel like? Yeah. Let's whack up the drums, because we've got individual controls here for the drums, for the bass and the start, so we can whack them up a bit and bring the... one. That's got to be a guitarist one, isn't it? I remember getting very excited about learning to play this one when I was at school, middle school. I thought it was very cool to know this song. Those kind of styles there, I mean obviously we're playing Rising Sun with that, but that 6/8 style you can use for all kinds of music. That's under the banner, let's look under Latin. Always got nice Latins. Can't go wrong with nice bossa nova. One of those wonderful cliche songs that all organ demonstrators play, the Girl from Ipanema. And when I was growing up, organ demonstrators always used to play Spanish Eyes. It always used to be the thing that they would demonstrate organs with, so they always put Latin on here. And they'd normally make a big point that they're playing with single finger, so they would have these fingers pointing out as if anybody plays like that. And they would go. Now what's really amazing, I was really surprised when I discovered this on this organ, is that every style that we press there has two variations behind it. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, so there's 18 rhythms there. But if we press styles 2, we can actually go through and do the same again and have another 18. So behind that standards, we initially had swing time and gypsy jazz, but I can press styles 2 and now I've got big band and boogie. So classic or learning to play book 2. Styles 2. So if we go to country and go to Styles 2, this time we've got Country Love, which is lovely, kind of laid back. That's nice. But of course we've got the favourite on there, Bluegrass Train. Yay! All aboard. I'm running out of time because I didn't realise we were going to have so many styles to go through. Let's try Smooth 16-beat. This is nice. Oh yeah. So being the age that I am, I spend a lot of time listening to a radio station called the 80s. And it made me feel quite old actually when I realised that I was listening to a station from the 80s, because the music from the 80s is now about 40 years old. And so by contrast, when I was growing up and playing Glenn Miller stuff in the 80s, that was 40 years old. So it is amazing really how time flies, but good music does stick with it. Oh, always good advice, take your foot off the glide pedal when you start playing. Proves it's live. Actually, talking of cliche songs at demonstrations you should always play, we had Spanish artist there, Girl from Ipanema, with breathy saxophones. You always should play from the 80s, a song by George Michael, Careless Whisper. Maybe that should be something for an idea for a video one day, is do a guide for how to be an organ demonstrator and what songs you need to know how to play, and what songs you have to play with particular styles and particular sounds. That could be that could be fun. Disco. Let's have a go at disco. Of course, it always chooses the tempo for us, but we're free to move it and speed up a bit. I like my discos a bit faster. Got energy. I mean, it is amazing actually how many fantastic styles there is in this. So it's very compact, a very affordable instrument, and I hope the sound is coming across well enough to you to appreciate how nice it's sounding, because it's a great sounding instrument. this had been around when I was learning to play, I don't think I ever would have bothered even going to school. Let's finish off with something, because I've already spent far more time than I was expecting to. I'm showing all these stars off, but it's great fun. We may actually have to do a part 2 for the Estey Freedom part 2. Let's hope we don't have to do a part 3 as well, because it'll be Freedom 3 part 3. Really. Disco, or as a nice show tunes medley, but let's use this style to play something So I hope you've enjoyed this little journey through the oh god, I'm getting worse tongue-tied now. This journey around the Freedom 3 and the styles and the sounds. I think it's fascinating to see a new instrument coming along that's designed for the hobby player. A nice simple instrument to work with great sounds, a nice cabinet, and yeah, it's been really interesting going through it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tom's video on how to sign up to Patreon is now live, so you can learn how to sign up. So from Monday onwards you'll be able to still access all the stuff that we have on our channel, and of course access to all the new stuff. Of course on Monday we'll be doing our first video, which is Patreon only, as they all will be, but this will be the first new content on there. So we will look at playing the Even When song. Everybody that signs up will get a free copy of the sheet music to Even When, and we will spend a bit of time chatting through how to play that on all the various instruments. So that should be fun. Looking forward to doing that one. A very favourite song of mine. And so in the meantime, have fun at home. I hope you're surviving lockdown. We're a little bit easier at home now because my youngest has been able to go to school, so she's very excited today and very happy. So I hope you're keeping safe and keeping well, and I'll see you again tomorrow. And say probably another video we'll have to do a Freedom 3 part 3, just to make me try and say that as many times as possible. Thanks for watching. Take care. Don't forget to sign up. One of the questions that came in, a couple of things just to point out. Somebody asked about watching Patreon or using Patreon on the TV. There is a way to do that, so if anybody's got any queries on that, give us a call or email and we can describe how to watch Patreon on your TV. If you want to watch it on your phone or on your tablet, there are apps, which there's a Patreon app which makes it an absolute doddle, so you can watch things on there, so that you'll still be able to access all of the content exactly the way that it's kind of on the device that you're used to watching it on. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.